You finish your workout, you feel weak. You didn't lift as much as last time. Your first thought, I had a bad workout. I'm not making progress. You're discouraged. You consider skipping tomorrow and changing your training plan. But here's what you're missing. You're looking at a single tree and calling it the forest. You don't know if it was actually bad until you step back and see it in context. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercising Self-Control from Fitness to Flourishing. There's a principle so fundamental to rational thinking that it applies to every important decision in your life. It's captured in a single phrase. You can't see the forest for the trees. This isn't just a saying. It's a description of how many people make decisions. They focus so intensely on the immediate detail, that is, the single workout, the single day, the single moment, that they lose sight of the bigger picture. They get bogged down in the granular and miss the entirety. The principle is this: never evaluate a fact, decision, or value in isolation. You must relate every issue to the total integrated sum of your knowledge. You must see how the parts fit together within the system that is your life. A single workout doesn't tell you anything. Only the context tells you the truth. Let's go back to that, in quotes, bad workout, and add context to see the forest. Last week, you slept poorly. You were stressed. You trained hard anyway and felt great. This week, you slept 9 hours. You had a calm day, but your workout felt off. Looking at just the off workout, it appears worse. But when you see the whole picture, that is, your sleep, your stress, your recovery, it's actually progress. Your body is recovering. You're building a sustainable practice instead of burning out. Or consider this. You've trained consistently for 3 months. This week, you dialed back the intensity of the workout because of a slight injury. In isolation, it looks like regression. But when you see the whole picture, that is, your 3-month trajectory, your injury, your long-term health, taking a step back is wisdom. You are protecting your future fitness. This is what it means to see the forest. Understanding how a single moment fits into your entire training program, your recovery, your stress, your nutrition, your sleep, your life. When you focus only on the individual trees, you create contradictions that destroy your practice. You value fitness, but you judge progress by a single workout. You value consistency, but you make decisions based on how you feel today. You value long-term health, but you ignore how today's choices affect tomorrow's capacity. These aren't just logical inconsistencies, they're self-destructive. You're claiming to value one thing while making choices in a way that contradicts that. When you step back to see the whole picture, these contradictions become impossible to ignore. You can't claim to value consistency while skipping a workout based on a single bad mood. The forest reveals what the trees hide. Your own dishonesty. Imagine a traveler who sees a beautiful mountain peak on the horizon. The traveler decides, I want to reach that peak. But the traveler only looks at the peak. They don't look at the hundreds of kilometers of rugged terrain that must be crossed. They don't look at the supplies they'll need. They don't consider the winter that's coming. The traveler simply tells themselves, I'm already there in spirit. Perhaps, but they're not even close to being there in the flesh. They're focused on a single tree, That is, the end, the peak, and missing the entire forest, the journey, the obstacles, the preparation required. This is what happens when you focus only on the end result in your fitness goals. You see the peak, a fit, strong body, but you don't see the forest, the training program, the nutrition plan, the time commitment, the consistency required. There's the old saying about trying to, in quotes, build castles in the air. Yes, the castle belongs in the air, but digging into the dirt and setting a solid foundation is the work that makes a castle in the air possible. That's the context many people prefer to ignore. Here's what's happening psychologically. You're stuck in local processing. Local processing means focusing intensely on individual details. For example, the single workout, the single meal, the single day. It's zoomed in. It's the trees. Global processing means stepping back to see how all those details fit together as a system. For example, your entire training program, your overall eating habits, your life. It's zoomed out. It's the forest. Most people live in local processing. They react to the immediate. They judge by the moment. They make decisions based on what they can see right in front of them. But the moment exaggerates and misleads. Only the full picture tells you the truth. And this isn't just about fitness. You want a better career, but you judge progress by a single project. You don't see the forest, your entire trajectory, your skill development, your market value. You want deeper relationships, but you judge by a single conversation. You don't see the forest, years of trust building and commitment. You want to live by your values, but you judge integrity by a single choice. You don't see the forest, your entire life and character. In every domain, the same pattern emerges. People focus on the trees and miss the forest. Then they wonder why they never reach their goals. When you finish a workout, don't ask, was that a good workout? Step back. Ask, how does this fit into my entire training program? My recovery, my stress, my nutrition, my sleep, my lifestyle. When you face a decision, don't ask, what do I feel like doing? Step back. Ask, how does this fit into the bigger picture? Does it align with my highest values? My most important goals? Stepping back forces you to see the whole picture. And when you see the context of the system that is your life, the right choice becomes obvious. So, a single workout doesn't tell you what you need to know. Only the whole picture tells you the truth. But seeing the whole picture of today isn't enough. Neither is just this week or this month. You also need to see your choices in the context of your entire lifespan. That's where the next pillar comes in. Range. In the next episode, we'll explore why looking only at today is self-destructive and how to see your entire lifespan in a single moment. Because the virtuous choice isn't just the one that takes into account the forest. It's the one that serves the vision you have for the forest itself. That is, your flourishing in the long term. That's it for today. Catch you next time.